For many of us who had spent years in the deep freeze of being conservatives in Hollywood, one of the great moments was the appearance of Roger Simon's book, Turning Right at Hollywood and Vine, The History of a Conservative Coming Out in Hollywood. It is now out in a paperback. And with us today is the author, Roger Simon. It was an extraordinary book.
Listen, Lionel, thank you for the praise for the book. And, you know, I've added a couple of chapters to what was originally blacklisting myself. And the reason I did that is, you know, I wanted to renew it for the paperback, but also I think I've discovered what the real theme is in here, a little bit more. And that is that it's really about change and what it means to change, for a person to change with his family, with his friends, with his co-workers. And the superficial story in here is a guy, me, who turns from a Hollywood liberal into more of a Hollywood conservative, and the struggles that you have with that. But anybody who is changing is going to have a huge struggle, and change is very... You look around and not too many people change their views in life. I mean, you know, half the writers in the New York Times never changed a thing.
Certainly not in Hollywood. And I do remember you as a liberal. I remember being harangued by you.
Right, I did. We were big enemies. Before we did Hollywood show, you know, we were friendly enemies. We were friendly enemies.
I do want to say something about this book. You were once a crime writer, a wonderful screenwriter. Why am I praising you like this? It's comparatively. No, you really were. You're a talented, gifted guy. But most of the books that come out of this nature, and it's not the only one, of course, there are others. This one is extremely special. I think it's special for two reasons. And I'll have you comment on the first, and then I will comment on the second. The first is that you really were at the center of gravity of the Hollywood left. You were a darling of the left. And the second reason is the readability of the book. Address the first of these. Where you were, I mean, you gave up a lot.
I did give up a lot, like Norman Podhoretz gave up. Yeah. You know, it happened almost by accident, and I don't claim great courage. I mean, it just came. It just happened. I mean, you know, as I describe in the book, first the OJ trial made me feel certain ways, and then 9/11 happened, and I just responded like, and also being a writer, I think you understand this, Lionel. If you're not true to what you're thinking as a writer when you're writing, you're hopeless as a writer. I mean, you can't even, what are you doing? You might as well be, making suspenders. I mean, it's not, that's what being a writer is. So I didn't really know how to not be what I was. It's not like I was some great pioneer. I mean, but I did then meet lots of strange things, many of which are in the book, of people reacting to me in very different manners than they had before.
It's very interesting, actually. You say a writer, someone who describes it's a moment, a road to Damascus moment. It's a sudden moment, this flash of insight. David Mamet expresses almost the same thing in an article, though I do want to say one thing about this book. There's a lot of new material. If you've read the hardcover, it doesn't matter, go out and get this book. And the most wonderful thing is the introduction, where Roger's old life, his old left-wing life, telephones his...
Because I had a movie that I wrote 20 years ago was being filmed.
You're going to be real popular with the right when that comes out. But I'm going to read like the first few lines, because it gives you a rough idea of what it is when you're in the hands of a truly great writer who really understands literary style and how to make you read. It's not tendentious. I was sitting at my desk, staring at my cell phone, for a moment uncharacteristically unable to speak. Hello? This is Roger Simon, isn't it? Yes, I blurted out, my throat tightening as it hadn't in years. I felt a similar pressure in my chest, and my palms were sweaty. It's that crime style that you wrote that makes it is wonderful.
Well, you know,
a readable book.
Well, this is where I make my final plea on this video, is I'm really the same person. It's just the world changed.
No, but it isn't.
You disagree.
You changed.
Okay,
well, you said
disagree,
yourself, it's about change, and I think the point is that what you chronicle is the greatest obstacle to change are the people around you who are terrified to see change in their friend.
And yourself, because you want to keep your friends, you want to keep your job, and you want to keep your loved ones. I mean, I kept my loved ones, fortunately for me, but...
Well, you're a lovable guy, Roger.
Oh, thanks, Lionel.
You know, in a limited way. Anyway, look, the book is Turning Right at Hollywood and Vine, The Perils of Coming Out as a Conservative in Hollywood. And it really is, as I say, even if you read the hard copy, get this, it's really good, it's updated, it's got new material. And Roger may not say that it was a brave thing to do, but believe me, it was. And, you know, I'm glad you did it. And
I'm glad to be your friend, Lionel.
God bless your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.